Hi, I'm Meg, I'm an amateur historian, and welcome to my first booktube video. I decided to start one of these because I just finished with graduate school and I'm in between, school and looking for a job, and apparently I don't know how not to be busy 100% of my life, and so why not fill that time with the booktube channel. So I thought I'd start off today by doing a booktube newbie tag. I don't know who started it, I just found it online when I looked up booktube newbie tag, and so if somebody knows who started this, please let me know and I will credit them, but for now I'm just gonna do the questions. Okay, so the first question is, why did you start this channel? I was inspired by my friend Kate. I will link her channel in the description box below. I've been friends with her for a while, had no idea she had a channel, and I found out last year that she had a booktube channel, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch it because it's my friend. And it turned out her videos were really good and I liked all the books that she was reading, and she actually got me back into reading just for fun. For the past 6 years or something like that, I haven't really been reading for fun. I've been reading for school and haven't really felt like I had time to read for fun. I would read a little bit in the summer or on breaks, but for the most part I haven't really been reading. I was watching her videos and listening to her talk about all these really cool books, and I was super jealous that I didn't get to read these, and I was like, I want to read these, if only I were in graduate school. And I kind of had a little bit of a mid-graduate school crisis where I was really mad about the fact that graduate school had taken my hobbies from me, and I used to be such an avid reader and I wasn't anymore. I decided to, say to hell with graduate school expectations and just start reading again, start making time for reading, and it has been so nice. And so I just decided to give it a shot too. So thank you, Kate, for being so awesome and having such great taste in books, and for getting me back into reading for fun. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I think they're fun. I don't know if other people will think this is fun, but as I said, I've done a crap ton of reading for grad school, and most of it is nonfiction, and I see a lot of people on BookTube talking about fiction and talking about young adult fiction in particular, and I love seeing all of that, but I have also really loved reading the books that I've had to read for graduate school. I found some really great stuff while I've been reading, and I think that that's something I can bring. Not a lot of people talk about nonfiction, and again, I don't know that other people will think it's fun. They might think it's dry and boring as hell, but I think it's fun, and I'm really looking forward to getting to talk about a lot of these books. The third question is, what are you most excited about for your new channel? I'm really excited about having an outlet to kind of yell about my book feelings. So it'll be really nice to just have an outlet to talk about these things, and I already follow a few other booktube channels and I'm really looking forward to interacting with them as well. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? The two main reasons that I read are to escape and to learn. Those are the two functions that reading serves for me. And when I'm reading fiction, I really enjoy sci-fi and fantasy. I really enjoy books that will kind of take me away from the place that I am. And I also love learning about anything. I'm a huge nerd. I always tell people that if I won the lottery, I would just go to school forever and just get a million different bachelor's degrees. That's fun. But yeah, so I like to read books, and I like to read in general just to learn about new people, new places, new cultures, things that make me think about the world in different ways, or that make me reevaluate myself, or things that I think I know about the world around me. And so those will be the two main things that you'll see me talking about and being excited about when I read books. The next question is, what book or series got you into reading? I've loved reading for as long as I can remember, but I have to say, and this is probably true of many people of my generation, Harry Potter is what really got me into reading, and what really solidified my love of reading and kind of informed me as a person for many years, and continues to form me as a person. Might be a pretty basic answer, but that's the truth. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Advice for how to run a booktube channel, just general things about content and editing and things like that, but also how they choose their books and why they like to read the things that they like to read. The next question is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think that was worded poorly. So I think the biggest challenges will be just general content creation. I've never edited videos before. might be able to tell when I put this out there. And I've also never done anything like this where I've been in charge of putting out a certain type of creative content on a regular basis. I know really well how to write academically and how to turn in papers on a deadline, but I don't know as much about this kind of creative medium. So that's going to be challenging, but I think it's going to be a fun challenge. The next question is, when did you start reading? I learned how to read when I was 5 years old, and I never stopped. Ninth question is, where do you read? I kind of read anywhere that I can. I'm really good at reading with distractions. Just ask my brother, whose Little League games I never watched. How I read depends on what I'm doing. My kind of rule of thumb tends to be if I'm stationary, so sitting in my house, sitting in my bed, in an office, I tend to read, print books or ebooks. If I'm on the move, so if I'm driving, if I'm walking somewhere, then it's audiobooks. And then the last question is, what kinds of books do you like to read? So I like to read all sorts of books. Anything that pulls me in, anything that makes me think or makes me feel like I get to escape into another world for a little bit. Those are the books that I really like. And it's not really relegated to a particular genre, so I tend to read kind of widely, or at least I hope that I read pretty widely. I'm trying to read more widely. Yeah, anything that really pulls me in. So when I originally planned this, I was just going to do the BookTube newbie tag and leave it at that, and then I went to a local used bookstore and bought a bunch of books. So I thought I would also add a haul to the end of this video, just so that you kind of have an idea of what kinds of books I read and what I'll be hopefully reading in the future. I don't know, I'm really bad at reading books as soon as I get them, so I'll be reading these eventually, but who knows when. So the first book is The Complete Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi, and I got this because Kate read it a while ago and said that she loved it, and I was just kind of wandering around the bookstore and I saw a price tag that said that it was $6, and I was like, I feel like there's no way I can pass this up. The next book that I got was Americana, a novel by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I got this one because of Emily at Possibly Literate was talking about this. I think it was in an older video. I've been watching a lot of backlog BookTube videos lately. I think that's where she was talking about this. The next book I got was Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I've seen the movie, but I've heard that the movie and the book are quite different, and I didn't get a chance to read the book before I saw the movie, and so I'm really excited to read these and see how they match up, how they're different, etc. The next book I got was Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I'm doing Book Riot's Read Harder Challenge, and one of the prompts is read a book with a cover you hate. And I was like, I'll just wait to be inspired by that. I picked all my other books out ahead of time, and for that one I was like, I'll just kind of look around, and when I see a cover and I'm like, ugh, that sucks, I'll pick that book up. So yeah, I hate this cover. It's so weird, but I've heard that the book is great, so, don't judge book by its cover and all that jazz. The next book that I picked up is A Separate Peace by John Knowles. I read this one when I was in high school, but I don't really remember it. I might not have read the whole thing. I might have Cliff Notes part of it. I kind of reread the blurb on the back and was like, that sounds like something I'd be interested in now that I'm older and not trying to BS my way through AP English classes. And also it was 75 cents at the thrift store that I was at, so might as well. The next book that I got was Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have heard a lot of good things about this. I've also heard that it's incredibly emotionally devastating, so I've been really hesitant to read it for a long time because I'm not really a fan of books that make me sad. I read books that make me escape in happy ways, not books that make me feel terrible, but I've just heard so many good things about this, and also I'm really interested in Circe by Madeline Miller, and I know that you don't have to read one to read the other because they're two completely separate things. However, since this book is the one that people most associate with her, I kind of have to read it before I read Circe. Just, I don't know, because of my weird internal thought processes. Anyway, saw it at the bookstore and was like, okay, I'm ready for emotional devastation. Eventually, not immediately, but I will read this. The next book that I got is actually a short story, Brokeback Mountain by Annie Proulx. Again, watched the movie, loved the movie, and my friend Jill is traveling through Texas right now, and she read this right before she went on vacation to kind of get her in the southwestern mood, and was like, if you ever have a chance to pick it up, you should. And saw it at the thrift store for 75 cents and was like, sure. And then the last book that I got was Kindred by Octavia Butler. Heard again that this was a really good book and it was not very expensive, and so I decided to pick it up. It's on my TBR, and I know it's on a lot of my friends' TBRs as well, and so I'm really excited to read this. And that's it. That's all I have for my first video. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. I hope staring at my face to edit this video is not too painful. We'll see how that process goes. But thank you for watching this, whoever watches this. All of the other booktube channels that I follow have a bunch of social media accounts where you can keep up with them and talk about bookish things, and I decided to do the same. So you can find me on Instagram at amateur.historian, you can find me on Twitter at amateurhist, and you can find me on Goodreads as Megig. Don't ask, it's a long story. But I'll link all of those down below, and if you're interested in talking to me more, then that's great. Thanks for watching. Bye!